Alright, so to start with here, we're going to do a short little demo on a little block. The first thing I want you to do is draw an object out here on the screen. So go to your 3D Tools tab. I want you to pick a box. And from the top view, go ahead and just draw our first little box. First little box, make it a rectangular shape out there. You know, so tall, doesn't really matter exactly. And I'm going to put that on a conceptual view. And there's what we drew. Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw another box. The second box, I'm going to attach it back here to this back corner. Now here you want to be careful, because if I hover here, my dynamic UCS takes over and I'm going to be on that plane. I don't want to be on that plane. I want to start down here on this bottom corner plane and draw a rectangular shape up to about maybe here. And then I'm going to draw it just a little bit taller than the other box to about there. Good enough. Next, I'm going to twist this around over here to the back side a little bit. I'm going to start another box. I'm going to start this box on this corner. Again, I want to be careful not to highlight my other side with the dynamic UCS. I'm going to use tracking here to make this box exactly the same length as this other one. So I'm going to go down here to this corner, track it there. Notice how that tracking shows up. Go to maybe about there. And then again, pull this up in the height. And make it a little bit taller than that previous box. So if we're looking at this, click there on our back corner, or our top corner of our block, put an isometric view. This is what we've got. Okay, so first thing I want to show you is, hopefully you've already done this, but if you click on these different objects, notice there are 3 separate objects. When you click on them and highlight them with grips, notice all these little arrows and things that appear on them. If you didn't already know this, you can click on that arrow there, and you can adjust this. You can make it either longer or shorter. For this instance, I'm going to take it back here right to this corner and adjust that shape of that object. I'm going to grab this one on the top center of that arrow there. I'm going to pull it down, and again, I'm going to make it this height right here. And I'm going to take this one. Now, this one sometimes is hard to get a hold of. Get a hold of that one, and I'm going to pull it up to right there to that corner. Oops, I missed it. Let me try that again. And again, sometimes that one's a little bit hard to get a hold of. There we go. So there, I just kind of adjusted that to where I made this into a rectangular solid shape. And adjusted that initial box I had. So hopefully all of you knew how to do that. From here, I'm going to go ahead and undo to bring it back to the original. So undo back here, a couple of steps, back to there. So now what I want you to do is I want you to union this together. So I'm going to go UNI for union. I'm going to union that block together into one block. Now when I union that, notice how it changed this surface all to one surface, got rid of that line that goes in between there. Same thing over here, got rid of that line. It's one actual object. Now, if I highlight this object and try to grab the grips and adjust the size of it, notice they're gone. It's no longer one of those primitive shapes. No longer one of these primitive shapes. If you had one of these primitive shapes, let's say a cone, and you click on it, notice there's my arrowhead again. I can click on that, and I can adjust the height of this, like so. I can grab one of these arrowheads and adjust the diameter of it. That's what you can do with a primitive shape. But this is no longer a primitive shape. It's a complex shape. So with this complex shape, you can change this, but you're going to use a different command. It's called press pull. So if I go PRES, press pull, and hit enter, now notice what I can do. Is I can grab this surface of it here, and I can press this in and make it shorter, or I can pull this out and make it longer. So I can press it into there, like so, or I can pull it out to here, like so. So I can adjust this around. All I want you really to do is play with this a little bit, moving these things around back and forth a little bit, pressing and pulling these different objects. At the end, I want you to go ahead and just press pull this in like we did before after you've played a little bit, and just to a nice rectangular solid shape. I think I got rid of all the other details. Yes, I did. So there we go. All right. So from there, that's good on that step. Kind of played with press pull a little bit. From there, once again, I want you to undo back to where it's original. Then I want you to switch to your front view. The view named front, so go to front view there. And from here, I want you to use the slice command. I'm going to go slice SL for slice. I'm going to pick that object. And for my plane to slice across, I want to include all 3 of these shapes. So you see this shape here, this one here, and this one here. I want to cut across all of them. So there I'm cutting off across there at an angle, cutting each one of those 3 different planes. I want to keep the bottom half of this, so I'm going to click below it here, and it's going to save that bottom half. Now let's twist this around and see what I got. Alright, so there, I've created this weird shaped thing here. Now, I just want to do this, let you see some of the other things that press pull would do. So with press pull here, notice this angular shape. If I click on it to press pull it, how it pulls it out of that weird angle away from there like so. So, wow, you just really change that entire shape up a ton. You can grab other parts of this. Notice this one, if I press it up and through, it comes up and through that object. Now if I pull it down, notice what it does. It makes a hole through there. So you can do all different kinds of weird things with this. Let's see, for example, this one I could pull all the way back and through and kind of cut it into there. I could take this part, pull it through there, all the way back to there, and it gets rid of almost all of that. Here, oops, if I can get the surface, there we go, pull it through, and it makes that part of it disappear. So you can just really adjust things all over the place. All I really want you to do is play around with press pull a little bit on this odd shaped part, just to see some of the things that it does. Here, pull it back through. Notice, oh wow, just erase that all out. Now here is one thing as you're getting this down and through. You cannot, however, totally get rid of the object. So here, if I pull back through, it just disappears because you can't totally get rid of the object. If I pull it down to here, I'll get rid of all of it except for that tiny little corner. If I click on this portion here, it'll pull it back, but it won't get rid of it totally. So again, that was just a little bit of playing with press pull and letting you see a little bit of what it does. No need to save that. You can go ahead and undo that and bring back the original, but we're really not going to save that block. So good there, just playing with press pull a little bit and carry on.